I've been shepherding.
We've got 3 minutes.
All right, Vincent Arredondo. Vincent Arredondo. Hey, Megan, how's it going? It's going to be a great day. You know, I was driving in, and when I was driving in, you know what song was playing? Just Fine by Mary J. Blige.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
that song. That's
Feel good song.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
That's right up there for me with on Fridays. I love to hear Sean Kemp.
Oh
It's
yeah.
Friday night, just got paid.
Yeah. Good one.
That's it. It's like uplifting. I love it.
Uh-huh. I just hear one. You told her I knew what she was just thinking this.
Probation, did you find the report on Telsey? All right, thank you. Just have a seat. Could I see the file on Lisa Telsey, please? All right, Lisa Telsey. Cindy, we're not starting jury selection till 11:30. All right. All righty. Okay. I didn't want you to set up and then you have to take it down for some reason. How are you doing?
Okay.
How's everything going in your life?
Good.
How's the baby?
They're great.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So how did your visit with your family go?
They were good.
Right. Anything else going on in your life that you need help with?
Oh no.
Okay.
Everything's going good.
All
You're
right.
good.
Oh, well, thank you very much. So do you.
Thank you.
Let me see what they're saying. All right. So the report I'm receiving is not a good report. So they're saying that you're not registering for the classes you're supposed to be registered for. So why not?
Oh, I was registering.
All right, well, here's the thing. They're saying that they don't have any proof of that. So this is what I'm going to do. The classes they want you registered for, and I'm going to let you speak to probation. All right, you're going to need to get registered in those classes. So the next time you come back, you need to have registered in those classes. Otherwise, a motion to revoke may be filed. Do you understand? So you have all these people trying to help you. And I can tell you, your appearance has significantly changed from the first time I saw you, from the second time I saw you. And people will always say, Judge, why do you give people a lot of chances? And it's because I'm trying to rehabilitate you because you have a child. Hopefully you want to be a mother to that child, right?
Yes, mother.
All right, so you can't be a mother to the child if you end up in prison. So everybody is trying to help you. If you don't follow through, if you don't manage your time appropriately, you could end up getting revoked. You understand? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset you. Can I have a reset form, please? So I'm gonna recall you back on April 1st. All right? And so you'll need to be here at 9 and you need to make sure that you've registered for the classes that they're saying that you have not registered for. And they're telling me that you tell them that you've registered for classes, and then when they call to do a check, you haven't registered. So do not be dishonest. That's the one thing you should not be. You understand? Everybody is trying to help you. But if you don't take advantage of the help that's being offered you, then the only place for you may end up being prison. Do you understand?
Huh?
I have a problem.
All right.
Oh, yeah, just trying to.
So
change it by an
we're going to
hour.
recall this for April 1st.
Put it up there when you need to.
You're going to talk to probation, and probation. Here's the court summary. Make sure you give that to your probation, to the probation officer in court. And then I'm going to want you to sign this reset form. And he's going to go over with you the items that are in that document that you need to start working on. You understand? All right. And if you need something, let them know. But again, nobody can help you if you don't follow through. You understand? All right. Thank you. All right. I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to answer and let me know you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. In custody, we have Juan Miranda, Michael Warner. Michael Warner.
I just got a text from him. He's parked in the car. He does know court's at 9 o'clock.
All right, people are always parking the car. You have to ask yourself, are they parking the car or have they not left home yet?
You know, last time we were here, he was sick.
Okay, well, let's not bring sick people into the courtroom. Deputy Laura, we have masks available.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Cody Salazar, custody. Raymond McKinney.
That's, all right, I'm ready.
All right, thank you. Christopher Rivera. And Deputy Laura, they're dressed, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Ruben Maldonado. Ruben Maldonado Jr. Parking the vehicle. Fernando Leon Placencia.
President with Council, Your Honor.
See, I took my time to pronounce that right, and he's here to hear it. I like it.
Yours, very nice.
Thank you. Okay, see, now he's just buttering me up because there was not a single R rolled. Who am I, Eartha Kitt? I'm working on it though. Joseph Garrison, custody. Raymond McKinney, custody. Christopher Rivera. Vincent Arredondo. Vincent Arredondo. As soon as he comes in, have him sign that reset form.
Yes.
Jorge De Leon, custody. Christopher Cameron, custody. Robert Louis Alman. Robert Louis Alman.
Aleman?
Thank you. Deputy Laura's like, yeah, we're not doing that. It's Alman. If there were an accent over that, I would know. Maria Herrera, custody. Gabriel Martinez. Thank you. Karen Garnica. RG Ford, custody. How do you pronounce that first name?
I think it's misspelled. Eduardo Jose Medina.
Eduardo Jose Medina. Christian Espinoza. Thank you. Patricia Adams. Patricia Adams, custody. April Gonzalez, you're supposed to be in the 144th. Eric Gonzalez, custody. Dakari Jackson. Thank you. Paul Diaz. Paul Diaz. David Mendoza, custody. Zoe Brooks.
Early charge of him. I think they're going to put the file on. Right?
Thank you. Brian White.
We have him in custody, Judge.
All right, thank you. Frank Perez. Frank Perez. Frank Medola Perez Jr. I'm sorry, the third. Frank Medola Perez the third. Ricardo Martinez. Ricardo Martinez, custody. Abel Favala, custody. Juan Carlos Castaneda. Albert Villarreal, custody. Sidney Peterson, Custody, David Vargas.
President. Morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? What's your name?
Ketchum.
All right. Could you make sure Ketchum file is full? Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, everyone, we're starting up a jury trial at 11:30. So please confer productively, but hastily. All right, attorneys, you know the rule. Don't approach the court unless you've conferred with the state and conferred with your client. If your client is in custody, yes, they need to be brought out. Once you're ready to approach the court, just have the clerk pull your file, have a seat. There's no need to stare me down. I'm going to call you in the order of appearance. The only exception is if your client needs an interpreter. Your client will need an interpreter if they wish to speak to the court in a language other than English. Do not talk behind the court reporter, and probation is an integral part of this process. So if probation is asked for, or if a person is currently on probation, speak with the probation officer. All right, everyone, please confer. Zoe Brooks.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Wonderful.
Okay, let me get the paperwork ready. Okay, first things first. Let me pull her up on Odyssey. And yeah.
Yes.
Did you receive the reset form from Telsey? All right, Ms. Telsey, you need to sign the reset form and turn it in to the clerk. So if you've signed that, she'll give you your copy. All right, so has the reset form been given to the clerk?
It's set it right here.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
So on this case, is there any discovery issues, counsel?
No, Your Honor, we're not on the calendar until April 14th or 15th. She's just got indicted
Okay,
and had been in pre-file court. I filed a motion. Well, I prepared it for pre-file and then I noticed that she had just gotten indicted, so I changed it to the 187th.
okay, and have you conferred with the state on your motion?
I talked with Jason Garahan yesterday. He said he did not have a problem with my request.
Mhm.
And he also reminded me that I needed to have Zoe here,
Yes,
which Norma turned around and confirmed also.
okay.
So we are, she's on bond for 3 aggravated robberies.
Oh, well, let's go on the record.
Oh, yeah.
All right, court is calling 2025 CR 002536, 2025 CR 002537, and 2025 CR 002539, State versus Zoe Brooks. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway from State.
Defense?
Vic Aguilera on Miss Brooks on all 3 matters.
All right, so defense counsel has filed a motion to amend conditions of bond. And it has to do with the GPS, is that correct?
Well, it's got to do with the curfew that she's currently on.
Okay,
Judge Nanhira lowered 2 of the bonds, put her on partial house arrest with permission to go to work
Mhm.
and with a 9 o'clock curfew.
okay,
With the time change, I don't know if we leap forward or backward, but where she works is going to stay open an hour longer, which is going to interfere with her curfew.
so what time are you asking for curfew?
Well, right now the curfew is at 9 p.m. and we're asking to change till 10 p.m.
All right,
And then this morning she texted me and asked me to ask if we could go on tracking only.
all right, so with regards to tracking only, how long has she been on GPS?
December 17th.
All right, so I don't think tracking only is appropriate in this case based upon the charges. State, do you have objection to tracking only?
Yes, object to tracking only, but no objection to the 1 hour extension.
All right. So with regards to extending your curfew, the court will extend your curfew to 10 p.m. If there are no violations with regards to GPS, your attorney comes back in about 6 months, then I'll consider tracking only. Do you understand? So in this court, when people are placed on GPS, one, I'm not the person who placed you on GPS, but I like to see a track record to see how you're doing. You can't, you haven't been on GPS long enough for me to consider tracking only. You understand? All right, and your next court date is when, counsel?
April 15th. I sent her a text indicating that.
Do you need a reset form for that?
I don't believe so.
Or counsel, if you would like, it's currently set for April 15th. If you would like to confer with the state now, we could perhaps move that.
I did do that. I'd like to do that. Yeah, if we could
All
possibly
right.
move that. Yeah.
So if you all will step back, he's going to confer with the state and we'll see. That way you won't have to come back again so soon. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. They need to be outside at 11.
Or 11 o'clock. You need help? Good morning. Yes, I'm ready. Is he still in? I think he's. And we have him downstairs. Okay, let's bring him. We need to. You have to be a little bit, because we're doing this back. Okay, and he's not happy.
Okay. No problem. No, his attorney is supposed to be here. You need to remove that hood. You're not in the witness protection program. What's your name? What is your name?
Robert Othermont.
All right, have a seat.
Second row, sir.
No, that's okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we do.
everybody knows. Yeah.
Michael Warner. All right, just have a seat.
He was parking the car, not leaving the
Okay.
house.
Ruben Maldonado Jr. You can have a seat, sir. Ruben Maldonado Jr. Eduardo Medina. Eduardo Jose Medina. You need to be on the second row. Paul A. Diaz. Paul Diaz. Frank Madola Perez III. Frank Perez III. All right, counsel, you ready on Brooks?
Brooks.
All right, Brooks, come forward.
There's a possible like cooperation agreement.
Okay, so where are we on discovery?
I have not seen the videos yet, but I have not asked my secretary to download them.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. If I can have a reset date, the second week in May.
But I did talk to Megan. She's, they're co-defendants that although they're not tagged properly in Odyssey, we're all loving the new program, Judge.
May 12th.
All right, so we're going to be back on May 12th. State on Zoe Brooks on May 12th. You need to be prepared to tender an offer. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Judge, that, I just want to make sure nothing fell through. That motion was granted the curfew on all three charges, correct?
Yes.
Sometimes pretrial gets picky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
You can have a seat. You'll take it to you. I'm sorry, make sure this.
Zoe Brooks.
Thank you.
36, 37, 39. I skipped 38 somehow. It messed me up when I was doing my motions. Like, wait a minute. I can't just do them in order. Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
What is your name? All right, if you'll come forward, please.
Just go straight ahead. They can roll on top, they can chair. So
All right, so here's the thing. You need to make sure you're on time for court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thanks for dressing appropriately. They'll give you your reset form. Your attorney is currently in a jury trial.
Okay, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. All along. I look.
Just grab one.
I was trying to help him out.
I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't make it. Just right here. And I was gonna wait for a little bit. So I don't. Oh, can't be. You go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ruben Maldonado,
Yes.
Paul Diaz,
Yes.
Frank Pettis, no. Oh, he's still here.
I will take care of everything because you're involved, though. I was gonna let it all go.
Good morning. Yes,
Do you have a few moments to speak with our newcomers? We
Sure.
have a large group, it's 9 of them.
oh, where are they?
They're on the hall, I wanted to make sure there's room.
Yeah, come in.
And a lot of them are for pre-trial and they've had compliance hearings with you, so they.
You're welcome.
Medina, Eduardo Jose?
Deputy Laura,
Yes, Judge.
they're gonna be bringing some probation officers in and pretrial service officers.
Yes. I mean,
Okay, come on up.
Kristen?
Hello. Welcome to the 187th. Who are my pretrial services officers? Where I always give 30 lines of instructions. So how are you guys doing? Awesome. And who's with probation?
We're on
Yeah.
probation, but.
Well, but, oh, you all came from pretrial, so you're no longer with pretrial.
Okay.
I ran you away from pretrial to probation.
Not you.
Well, welcome. If you all ever need anything, do not hesitate to stop by here. If there's anything I can do, let me know. I always tell attorneys, probation officers are an integral part of the legal system. Sometimes I think people forget. And I do really appreciate you. I'm the judge who always requires you to go out and do field visits because I want to check on things. And we've learned a lot when you all go out to people's homes because people say, "Oh, they're doing great." And then when somebody goes to their home, they're like, "Judge, they're not doing great. There are laws being violated here." I'm like, "For checking." So thank you all so much for coming down. And as I always say, and dressing appropriately for court. I appreciate that. So when do you all get assigned to a court or,
It'll
We're
be a
just,
few weeks. I
let's
think.
go to our second week of training.
Yeah.
oh, training? What are they teaching you all? I just want to know.
Policies and procedures so
Evidence-based,
far,
yeah,
yeah.
evidence-based practice,
Okay.
man. Motivational interviewing and everything. Stuff.
Oh, awesome. See, I love that motivational interviewing. I'm interviewing you guys right now. Well, that is awesome. So, to the state and defense attorneys, these are going to be new probation officers. They're ready to do field visits. But seriously, if you all ever need anything or have questions about anything, you can always come here if I'm here on the bench or in my chambers. All right, thank you all so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for
Thank
bringing
you.
them by. All right, you guys have to come back by for Fiesta medals. Yes. Should be in the beginning of the month. We shall see. All right. All right, thank you so much. We'll see what happens. Yes, that wasn't on the Festivus. Ruben Maldonado. Frank Perez. Hi. Hi, if you want, you can sit here. Yes, if you want, you can sit here. We're probably going to, not probably, we're either going to have a jury trial or a bench trial today. We shall see. Okay. You're welcome. So how's everything going?
I'm excited for tomorrow, still in it.
Oh, yes. I'm making sure because they want you to sign your life away, of course.
Oh, I know, I was reading it and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But it makes sense, everything.
Oh, yes. I have yet to lose a student at the jail.
I've never been, like, I've not, I don't think I've been touched by it, or I don't notice when I've had it.
Well, no, I always say if you want to practice criminal law at some point, your client may end up in jail and you need to know what it's like. And I used to give students visitation to the prison, but then when COVID happened, I couldn't do that as much. But once everything is secure and everything is in place, I'm probably going to start back doing that because prison is completely different from the Bexar County Jail. And some people prefer to be at the prison than at the Bexar County Jail because they say at prison, there are more things to do than what you have at the Bexar County Jail. So it's a different process. One time I took someone there and they were able to have lunch. Yes, and eat what the inmates eat. But then for me, they're like, no, you don't eat what the inmates eat. Come to the warden's office and have some food. And I'm like, yeah, but I gotta be here for my people. Gotta
Yeah,
eat.
but it was.
But then I was like, okay, thank you.
It actually felt like old times at that, but it was nice. So thank you, my little girl. What are your names? This case was on the docket yesterday.
Oh, and Deputy Laura,
And, and it
Yes,
was too
sir.
small.
Jess,
There's my other.
because you didn't think I could actually cook, just so you know,
And just tell them that all-
last night, collard greens and shrimp were on the menu. Oh, yes.
Yeah, because it has too many
This
videos.
is- Hey, this is strictly my cooking it. And do you know, in my family, no, in my family, I was the shrimp cleaner. And cleaning shrimp, it's fairly easy, but if you're doing 6 pounds of it, then you're sort of like, I really don't want any shrimp. Oh, you got it in there.
It's not all the way down, but it's in there. It's not really-
Yay.
Yeah.
I hope that sign doesn't become the sign outside when it says,
they just-
don't enter your trial.
That's what I was saying. It's gonna sit there and it'll probably still have.
Mhm. But yes, so for class tonight, I'm gonna give you all the do's and don'ts of facilities.
I was told if it was possible to enter with you and this.
Sure. Just speak with the court coordinator and we'll set it up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do want. We're both ready to go. Yeah. That's it. But I think they should be. Okay.
No, she got hers.
You want your clients, go ahead.
Files on Abel Favela and also Ruben Maldonado.
You have a reset form? I already signed it. I'll be fine then.
Thank you much.
No, it doesn't need to be a phantom date. It can be a regular date. All right, Ruben Maldonado.
I'm present on his behalf, Judge. At this time, he's not present and have had no contact, Your Honor.
Okay,
But should that change, I'll definitely get with the district attorney's office and the court.
all right, just one moment.
Yes, Judge.
Let me just find his page, the page he's on.
Of course, Judge.
Second page, good.
Thank you. And is he on a commercial bond?
That's what I'm looking for.
Thank you. Deputy Laura, are you able to make an announcement for Renee? I'm sorry, for Ruben Maldonado?
Hopefully,
Junior.
hopefully not foreshadowing.
No, no. It's just, it's funny when it pops up on Odyssey, the attorney's name is prominent and I immediately think it's the defendant, but
Oh, yes, yeah, sometimes it's all like all capitals and things of that nature too.
all right. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 011521 State versus Ruben Maldonado Jr. Can I have parties announced for the state,
Megan Galloway.
for the defense?
Renee Munoz on behalf of Mr. Maldonado.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. and is now 9:40 a.m. The defendant has not appeared in court. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, he is not out there.
All right, defense, have you had any contact with your client?
No recent contact, Your Honor.
All right, and the court will note for the record that we were here on February 6, 2025. The defendant was present, and this case was recalled for today. State?
We're requesting a bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
All right, that will be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider. Thank you, State. You may be excused. So what ends up happening, every defendant has a date that they're supposed to show up for court. Normally, they're giving a reset form if they've already appeared in court. Sometimes what ends up happening is the system will give them their date. For example, if they're released from jail, they're automatically given a court date. And sometimes what ends up happening is the notice will go to whatever address they have on file. Sometimes people move, so the correct address is not on file. And it's up to the person charged to change their address if they have a different address. But in this case, he actually was here the previous date and he filed a reset form. So a warrant is issued and their bond is forfeited or revoked. And I talked to you all about bonds and how that works in class, so. Abel Favala.
Present on this matter.
I'm waiting to pull this up.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so this is the final setting for the restitution hearing, correct?
That is correct, Judge. Last time Mr. Favela was here, he was on bond. He's in felony drug court, and it seems that he was taken into custody by Judge Glenn. He issued a
Yes.
judge's warrant. So we're here, Judge, but just want to update the court that I spoke with the court manager, Ms. Samaron. They're going to be meeting with him this week to address those compliance matters. And I believe we are set on the restitution matter as well. So however the court would like to proceed, ready if the court is.
All right, so is there any witnesses for the restitution?
Judge, I need to confer with him about the restitution before we start with the hearing.
Okay, sure.
But there would be one.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Judge, if you may step back and then reapproach.
Yes,
Okay.
just let me know when you're ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's here on Tyler Ketchum? Hello, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you, ma'am?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I cannot complain. See here. Yes.
From yesterday, you'd requested paperwork, confirming that he has been in San Antonio Behavioral Health Hospital. The discharge date on that was from yesterday. This is also a discharge date on it and times. We prefer this to not end up in the record
Okay.
for his,
I know, I just need to have proof that he was actually there.
yes, ma'am. And, see, I was gonna keep going, but we talked last week and I was like, no, this judge likes to read.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right, do you want to speak with the state concerning this?
Oh, yeah, well,
Concerning, whatever objections, because I'll hear their objections. But I do note that, everything appears to be in order, but you may want to speak to them.
okay,
I had issued a judge's warrant, not a bond forfeiture. So you may want to speak to the state and see if they have any objections. And then
yes, ma'am.
discuss the matters
And
that we currently have.
I have discussed the greater case with them, Your Honor,
Mhm.
and that's what Your Honor wanted, was an update of where is he at? Is he gonna get into the Travis County one? And I believe that he can. I have the hard copy of the application ready for him to fill out and get to them.
Mhm.
Their concern was, and they expressed to me, the way to get into there is if he's in y'all's program and transfers directly from one program to another, or if a prosecutor here is going to recommend him for that program, and they are. So I think we should be able to get that done. I'll take it back to my office. We'll try to get that application done today or this afternoon and get that submitted. But I'll talk to them about objections to the judge's warrant.
All right, thank you. All right, who's here on Michael Warner?
I am Judge.
And is this application?
Yeah, please, an application and a recommendation to the court.
All right, where is Michael Warner? Court is calling 2024 CR 008639, State versus Michael Warner. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Nick Aguilar on behalf of Michael Warner.
And are you Michael Warner?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Warner, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Sure.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're proceeding on count 2, waiving count 1.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
So, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, we don't do I believe so's here. Either you did or you did not. All right, did you understand your charge of possession of a controlled substance? Penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. That is a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Warner, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
That's right.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 2. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication, and there's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 6 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, sir.
Then to the offenses charged in count 2, how do you plead?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
State offer states 1 in attachments.
Judge, for purpose of this plea, we've had the opportunity to review those exhibits and have no objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waivers and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If you would consider it, Judge, yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Well, Judge, I'm glad he doesn't have COVID here today. And having multiple sessions with the prosecutors, they saw fit to recommend deferred. And we'd ask if you would follow that.
All right, are you employed?
Yes,
What do you do?
I'm a journeyman electrician. I work for CDI. I work for the IBW Local 60 as well. I'm a member of the union.
And do you have any children?
2,
What are their ages?
18 and 16.
Do they live with you?
I live with their mother.
All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
As a lemon in my system, but those are, I have a prescription for those
All right, you'll need to make sure that probation has proof of your prescriptions. You understand?
from my psychiatry.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. $2,000 fine that will be probated, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. There's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Counsel, if you believe the restitution amount is not what it should be, we can have a hearing on that.
Sure.
There's to be 6 years deferred adjudication. If you complete everything successfully, the court will consider terminating your probation early, but do not approach me until at least 3 years have passed. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once parenting classes are completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And there should be a TAP evaluation and a MIC evaluation out of custody. Follow recommendations of TAP and MIC. If for some reason TAP is recommending inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Regular random UAs. And with regards to your employment, you can either do regular random UAs or you can wear the patch. The patch costs more, but it allows you to do different things. What I tell you, it's my understanding that with the patch, sometimes if you're working in the heat, people say it falls off. It's not allowed to fall off.
So you're not screwing yourself, kind of.
Okay.
I'll mention it. I've had clients on the patch and have been very successful.
All right, so it's regular random UAs or the patch. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, in this court, communication is key. Do not come back here for not reporting. You understand? If there's an issue, if you need help with something, we're here to help you. You understand? All right, good luck to you, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court, but next time be on time. All right, good luck
Thank
to
you,
you.
Judge.
Thank you. And you're ready on yours?
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me a moment. Let me put this in the system.
Yes, ma'am. I just mentioned the COVID, because we've been, last time we were here, I think he had COVID before that, but I left him in the hallway for the same.
Yeah,
I think he's good today.
okay,
Thank you,
awesome.
Judge.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, catch 'em. Please come down. And counsel, you're on this side.
Yes, ma'am. I did discuss it with the state and they would have no objection to Your Honor recalling that judge's warrant, if Your Honor was so inclined. We would ask.
Okay. All right, and the court reviewed the documentation that you presented, so the court will recall the judge's warrant.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And so here's the thing, Mr. Ketchum. In this court, one, you have to make sure that you appear. And if you're not able to appear and there's a good reason for your non-appearance, then you need to provide proof of that.
I was in a car accident, Your Honor.
Here's the thing, but you have to provide proof of that. There is, and then when you come into court and I'm getting word from the deputies that you're being disruptive, there's no need to be disruptive. If there's an issue, then you know your attorney is going to be here to correct it. And I, in this court, normally, I don't send people all the way to the Bexar County Jail without their attorney being present or having been on the record to see if we can rectify the issue. Take no pleasure in sending people to jail or prison. So next time, you can't fly off the handle with them. All right, so the issue we're here for today, other than that, is with the VA.
Yes, ma'am. And-
Well, Veterans Treatment Court.
Yes, ma'am. And we have been in communication with the Travis County Veterans Treatment Court, and they are willing to accept Tyler, and our DA's office is willing to recommend them. So we do have that application from them, and we are ready to execute that and get it to them. And I think we can have that done this week.
All right. So transfer and help me, what county is Austin?
Travis.
All right. I always get Travis and Harris County confused for some reason. You know, all these counties, if you're in Austin, your county name should start with an A. So that could give us a clue, right? Or either call Austin, Austin County.
Yeah.
Houston, Houston County.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just my input. So probation on this, it's going to be a transfer to Travis County. To the Veterans Treatment Court.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll note that state approves.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further from the defense.
All right, so you're not transferred to Travis County until you're actually transferred. So what that means is You can be in Travis County, but you're gonna need to report to probation here. You understand?
Understood.
All right, and talk to probation and he'll tell you. Usually it's very quick when it's in state to get transfers done. All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, thank you.
Judge. May we excuse?
Sure.
This warrant is lifted, Judge.
Yes, the warrant has been lifted. Thank you. And counsel? When do you think all of this will be done?
I can have that app to them filed and everything this week. Do you want us to come back maybe next week?
Yes, where we're gonna make sure that everything is done. Just one second. Let me look at a date that would be good.
If we could have 2 weeks, I could probably have an answer from them as well.
Oh, no, I'll give you more time than that because sometimes things don't move as quickly as we would like. Let's see.
Mendoza.
There's a good guy, you scrape off a few barnacles. There's a good guy under this.
Yeah, no. Norma,
And David Mendoza.
Yes, ma'am.
recall this for
I think my guy's behind.
April. Is April 10th good for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, recall this for April 10th for an update.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, it's Ketchum. It's 2024 CR 012926W.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Martinez.
Eduardo Medina. Hi, you're on this side. How are you? Usually you're off in the military.
I retired
Oh, get out of here.
about a year and a half ago.
Oh, man.
I'm living the dream now, all this free
So
time.
how's CPS?
Oh, I quit doing those.
You know, I will tell you, it's easily to get burnt out, you know,
Well,
and they need to increase the pay.
that's very true.
Right.
But I do remember something me, you, and Jamisa Jarman came on.
Yes,
Drugs, something, and denial. Remember that?
yes, I do, yeah.
I always give y'all credit for that.
Oh, thank you. All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, I got the discovery file on Monday.
Okay,
And so we've downloaded it. There's about 36 videos. I still got to look at those. I've only looked at one. So we're still going through the discovery, but I think we're ready to move forward. The DA is going to talk to the victims, see if we can maybe negotiate something
all right,
in the meantime.
all right. If I can have a 1 month reset, please, and state on this, if you can make an offer at that time.
Yes.
All right. And you need to make sure you're on time. No, you were not. You're Eduardo Jose Medina, right? No, you were not on time. It's at 9 a.m. Sorry, when?
April.
All right, is April 15th good for you?
Yes, Judge.
Tax season is upon us. The Ides of March in April. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Court starts at 9 a.m. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanna, how was I outside? I thought I was needing my lawyer to come inside.
All right, so let me just tell you, I understand it's your first time, but court is inside. So you're not waiting for your attorney outside. You need to be inside, okay?
Okay, sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
And
Judge.
just have a seat. They're gonna give you a reset form. Have a great day.
Of course.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes,
Eduardo Jose Medina.
Morning, Judge.
good morning.
So I have a motion to amend bond conditions for Miss Jenny Tim. She's on probation for,
You approach them. Is it on the docket today?
no,
You need to approach the clerk.
okay.
All right, thank you. Or well, the coordinator, I should say. Jorge Luis De Leon. Hello.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. So on this case, where are we on discovery?
I've gotten all of the discovery that I believe is in the state's possession. I'm almost through going through it, but I have a couple more things I'd like to do. I would like to ask for a short reset for a plea deadline.
Okay. And
If
state,
that's
did you
something-
tender an offer?
First contender, yes, Your Honor.
All right, so. Do you want to come back the week of the 24th, which is next week, or the following week?
If you don't mind, bear with me while I pull up my calendar and try not to inadvertently triple schedule myself. Oh.
That can happen.
Yeah, we all laugh, but it's not funny when it's. Actually, oddly enough, the 24th looks good, if that's all right with you, Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Ferguson, if you'll put this on the 24th, so we'll have you brought back on March 24th. That's Monday, okay?
Yes.
All right, thank
We'll be
you.
back next Monday. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Have a great one.
Have a seat, sir.
Abel Favala? Who's the attorney for Abel Favala? All right. Robert Alamon?
He's in shorts, so I don't understand.
Well, I mean, you know, where else would you go for a picnic but the court?
Hello,
All right.
Judge. Good morning.
Hello.
Sorry for inappropriate distance.
All right, apology accepted, but why were you late?
The traffic, we got stuck in traffic. If I'm parking or anything like that.
All right, so here's the thing.
Yes, Judge.
You need to make sure that you're on time.
Yes, ma'am.
And for dressing appropriately, this is what I would always tell my clients because, hey, sometimes people don't have a three-piece suit to pull out the closet, right?
Yes.
Or the tux to pull out the closet. I don't require people to be in tuxes. I don't require people to be in three-piece suits, right? So for this court, the top is fine, bottom not great.
Yes.
If all you have are jeans, that's fine. Don't do the ripped jeans though.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
I got that next time.
If you have some khakis, put on khakis. Sometimes your attorney will say, just khakis and a nice shirt and you're good to go. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so where are we on discovery?
I have received a discovery, Judge. This is the first setting. I haven't had time to review all of it quite yet. I conferred with Mr. Edelman about the case. He wants to reach out to the planning witness in order to make me an offer. I have no objection to a resale.
All right, so you all need to confer off docket. Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset for a plea deadline.
That would be May 1st.
All right, is May 1st good for you, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so May 1st gives you plenty of time to
Yes,
plan,
Judge.
all right?
So sorry about that.
Oh, no, no,
Appreciate
no.
you.
Thank you so much.
Hope you have a nice day, okay?
Oh, hey, you know what? I always say whether you have a nice day or not depends 100% on you. Don't let the noise get to you.
Appreciate it.
All right. You should listen to the song by Mary J. Blige called Just Fine.
Just fine.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it when I get up.
All right. I know sometimes, you know, there are some young people who've never even heard of Anita Baker. I'm just like, be still my heart. Either I'm very old, like decrepit old.
I
Or
know
either-
because of my dad, he'd be listening to it, you know.
Awesome. Okay, see, you and I we're gonna get along just fine. You know, pull out some Marvin Gaye, pull out some Temptations, you know, some Chuck Berry,
Marvin Gaye.
some Mary J. Blige, just fine. All right. so-
National anthem.
Yeah, so this is what's gonna happen. On May 1st, you're gonna need to come in here and tell me whether or not you've reached an agreement with the state or not, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
And if this is going to be potentially a PTD, y'all need to already have worked on that beforehand, okay?
Thank you.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Have a great day.
Okay, you too, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you.
Yeah.
Frank Pettis.
Sometimes.
Is this 10, Norma? Is this, Jenny 10?
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
is she asking for what, occupational license? Judge Angelini has already denied the occupational
Oh,
license.
no, Your Honor, we weren't asking for the occupational license. It was,
What are you asking for?
she has, so she was ordered to put an ignition interlock in both her vehicle and her husband's vehicle. Her husband's vehicle, she doesn't operate it. He's a regional manager for some company. She doesn't drive it. We were asking the court to modify the conditions to where if she does drive, she only has to install the interlock in the vehicle she operates, the CX-9.
All right, Judge Angelini can hear it. The motion.
Usually he requires it to be on all these days, like whether it's just it has to be on every vehicle that's incorrect. And I know last time she said the person was upset because that had to be done. So, and that's what she told Judge Angelini to consider. So, I mean, I can set it, you can hear it, I think it's not long, you can do 2 minutes. And if you guys want to. See what he's had, if he's around.
Yeah.
But he needs to be facilitated.
Will you be able to send that for another day?
Yeah, I'll set it for another day. I'll email you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Have a good one, Your Honor.
You too. Good seeing you.
Why is she in the one? No. It's under. It's not about. Yeah, because I got a message from, BBC. They changed it for. So. I didn't read that. There was recently one, issue. But it's just about to be her down. Yeah, but I did already, I would bring it up, and then I told her we got some stuff to review. But she went to the office to talk to her, so. When I. But it's definitely clear that. When I print out the new.
All right, who's here on Brian White? Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what are you here for?
It's an MTR. He turned himself in today on the warrant, but we've actually resolved. We have a recommendation for the court.
All right, so y'all ready to proceed on it?
Yes.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 8045, State of Texas versus Brian Christopher White. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Brian Christopher White
Andrew Harris Sadelman.
for the defense.
Tilden Schaefer for Mr. White.
You know,
Your
you're
Honor.
Brian Christopher White.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Brian Christopher White who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 8045 for the offense of driving while intoxicated third or more on November 7, 2022 for a term of 5 years?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
State would like to orally amend violation of condition number 15 to read ignition interlock rather than hand device.
We have no objection on that.
All right,
On or about the 15th day of December 2024 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Brian Christopher White, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of the ignition interlock device, in that the defendant failed to provide daily samples in violation of condition number 15.
how do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
State waives the remaining violation allegations, Judge.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 15, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 8 years in prison and up to $1,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 15? Court would find violation of condition number 15 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
So, Judge, continued supervision and then conditions to include scram and monthly home visits.
All right, so Mike, any objections to the court reviewing the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Brian Christopher White.
All right, why are you not following through with ignition interlock?
There's really no good excuse. There've been a few automotive issues, but it's, I mean, just not doing it. I don't have a good excuse. There've been a few times that I forgot. I haven't been home, but nothing that's excusable.
All right, do you want to go to prison?
No, man. I have a 17-year-old who depends on me, and I'm doing really well. I actually divorced because of her substance abuse, and I've been doing really well.
Well, I mean, you're acting as though you want to go to prison because you don't have any good excuse for not abiding by these conditions. And this has been going on since 2020, 24.
Yeah, there's no good excuse. I mean, my first probation officer, I didn't ask, and she didn't say about how many times I had to blow. And the last time I had an ignition interlock, I didn't have a set amount. But you did tell me when you extended it for 6 months that I had to do it 3 times a day. And
Yeah.
And when it got cold, I had battery issues. I had to have it rewired. And there's, again, no good excuse, but I definitely don't want to go to prison.
But you're behaving as though you do, because we've been here before with this and we're still dealing with the same thing.
You will never see me again. I guarantee that.
I think that's what you said the last time. My mind is a steel trap.
This is my first.
This is first MTR in the court. He
No,
had some supplementals.
Yes, and I do compliance hearings
Yes.
and I tell
Yes,
people to
Your
get their life in order. All right, this is what the court is going to do. And state your excuse. The court is going to deny the motion, alter and amend conditions for a 6 months extension. And there's going to be 3 days in the Bear County Jail starting today. All right.
I can help someone to take care of my son.
Okay.
Is the 6-month extension on the probation supervision or on?
Yes, on the probation supervision.
Okay.
And then 3 days in the Bear County Jail starting today.
Is there any way he could like turn himself in at 5 o'clock or?
So who's with your son now?
He's at school.
And who lives in the house with you? And where are your parents?
at work.
All right, so are you able to call them to let them know?
Yeah,
All right, I'll allow him to make a phone call to them, and let them know to pick him up.
Okay, can he call his work as well? Because he doesn't want to lose his job.
Sure. Deputy Mejia,
Yes, Judge.
he'll need to call, he's gonna go into custody today, but he'll need to call his work and his parents.
Yes, Judge.
so I'll be up by Friday, so I won't have to miss work next week.
No, you have 3 days. And counsel, you can come back and check it in with the court on day 3 to make sure that he's been released.
Yes,
Including today is part of the 3 days. No.
You're going in today, but this is not a full day. And the reason why I say that is because the jail is probably not going to count this as a full day. So you'll be out on day 3, but not at the beginning of day 3. So for example, usually they release people at midnight because of when I'm placing this order in the time it is. They're not going to release you at midnight. They'll probably put it in like 3 to 4 more hours, but you'll be released on day 3, but not in the morning at 12 a.m.
Okay.
All right?
So sometime Friday, I think is what she's telling. me.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
Okay, Judge.
do I make the phone call with him or?
Just speak to the deputies and the deputies will let you know.
So he had the warrant on this MGR, so I'm assuming they'll withdraw that warrant.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Yes. But he's gonna be in jail as condition. 3 days. Yes.
Thank you.
Just have a seat, sir.
Not only on. There'd be a reduction to misdemeanor. Yes, ma'am.
Even if you don't.
Sounds good. I didn't know if it needed to be in Spanish. We're okay.
Cody Salazar. Cody Salazar. All right, where's your client?
Thank you.
Oh,
In custody, but dressed nice.
awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, Judge.
Deputy Laura,
Yes, Judge.
on this one. She did say it has a condition of probation. So I'm like, we're gonna take a peek at that hole there. All right. That's what I meant. All right, thank you. Yes. Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Or I should say, just fine. All right, so state, did you tender an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, we have tendered an offer. We received the CPS records. We are going through them. We do still need to meet with the complainant and talk with maybe a couple witnesses defense provided. But we are asking for a very quick turnaround because it should be resolved.
All right, do y'all want it next week?
Yes.
Next Thursday, if we could. Judge.
All right, Norma, if you'll recall this for disposition on March 27th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back then.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
I'm ready on my tenant.
He's ready.
David, bye. Or-
Abel Favala?
Yes.
Juan Castaneda? Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. So is this contested?
Well, it really isn't, Judge. We were here a couple of weeks ago and got a couple of bonds set, and I've conferred with both sides of the state. He's got a couple of cases that are pending that we have that we're trying to work out globally. One of them is unindicted. Ms. Jones is going to need some time to evaluate it and possibly make a recommendation that will impact the MTR set before you today. And I would also like some time, Judge, irrespective of that, for a couple different reasons. One of them is we are going to have a hearing to have some witnesses come in on his behalf. So I'm asking for a 2 to 3 week reset of the court to do that.
So is this contested or not contested?
At this point, no, I don't believe it. We're not going to contest it no matter what. I can tell you
All
that.
right, so I'll read the case and then he can either plead true or not true. And then I will put my decision off so you can bring whatever witnesses you want to bring in, because today is set for contested.
What we're contemplating is a withdrawal of the MTR. And a resolution on the other case that is unindicted.
Well, y'all need to, that needs to be contemplated and done today because we're set for a contested.
Understood.
All right. All right, thank you.
I need to, because you don't need to understand. I'm still doing so. But I need to make sure some of the like of the discovery issue. David Mendoza. You still want the cigarettes? Back on?
All right, David Mendoza.
Present, ready, Judge. Good morning. Again.
Good morning. Hi. Hello. All right, how are you doing today? All right, today is your plea deadline date. Have you all reached an agreement?
Judge,
We got an offer from from the state. It's a good offer and we are liking to accept it. My client has a parole, he's on parole. I would like a just brief, if I may, continuance to speak with the parole officer to see what effects a plea would have on his situation. Considering it's a time plea, I don't believe that would serve.
Well, if
any-
they're doing it, I can tell you the impact it's gonna have, because I've done parole hearings. If he's taking time on this case, they're revoking his parole. They're not gonna keep you on parole while you're at the prison for something else. I've never seen that in all my years. So today is plea deadline date, so either y'all are entering a plea today or you all are going to trial today. That's why he's brought over dressed for trial.
I couldn't get a week till next Thursday with my other case to
Today is,
give a check.
today is plea deadline date or trial date.
Yes.
Okay, so if y'all are, oh, I'm
We'll
not
go
gonna
check.
try it.
We'll go
You
check.
talk to them. Joseph Garrison.
David.
Hello.
I'm on Lucas Garrison. I'm sorry, Joseph Garrison.
Yes.
There's an offer from the state. And
Joseph Garrison, come down. Yes.
I've been trying to get hold of family members. The lines are disconnected. I've conferred with my client. At this point, we cannot reach an agreement. If you can put it on the one last conference, Judge. Because there's some stuff I want to look into.
Sure. All right, sir, how old are you?
32.
All right, Miss Ferguson, if you can set this for a plea deadline date, give me a month setting, please. Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Well, actually, you know what? Let me see. No, we put it for the week of April 21st. All right, April 21st. And sir, if your attorney wants you back sooner, then we'll bring you back sooner.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did I get April? She might be still up there, right?
Bavala,
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
all right, come forward.
Yes, Judge.
Just give me 1 second.
Where's the commission?
What page is Garrison on? Thank you. All right, Abel Favala? Yes, counsel.
Ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, so there's a judge's warrant by Judge Glenn.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is for restitution. Are there any witnesses for restitution?
Judge, so as part of the defendant's plea agreement, he agreed to pay the restitution. We have received a medical bill from the complainant. Unfortunately, her advocate was out and she was just able to provide the rules to the victim today.
Mhm.
And so if he's not logged on, then
Let me see. Yeah, they're not logged on. Well, counsel, have you had a chance to see the medicals? Do you object to the medicals?
We object, Your Honor, without proper authentication, without a proper sponsoring witness with regards to the matter. And this has been, I believe, either the third or fourth time this matter has been rescheduled for, Your Honor. So we're ready to proceed with the restitution hearing.
And Judge, I just want to address that very briefly.
Mhm.
The first couple of hearings that we had were reset because the defendant was in or in lifetime recovery.
Yes.
The state did not object to the resets at that time, and our witness was available on these dates. On one date, the witness was present via Zoom and was excused because the defendant was in lifetime recovery at that time. I could have tried to urge that he be put on that lifetime recovery, but in consideration for his treatment, I decided to release that. And so I know that the court, I didn't come before the court at the last setting, and that's just where we're at. I just want to.
Your Honor, if I may respond, the first setting, he was in lifetime recovery and there was an agreement to postpone. It was also set a second and third time. One of the times because Ms. Galloway was ill and I did confer with Mr. Edelman and he was privy to that information regarding the hearing. And then the last hearing is just simply, it just got reset. So we're here now. I know the court indicated this would be the final one. The last one I could have urged that, there'd be no more continuances regarding this matter. I was respectful of the fact that they had to allow us in see within a lifetime to get a reset. So we were working with them as well. But something's got to give at this point, Your Honor. The case has been closed. He's placed on deferred adjudication and I frankly have other matters to deal with.
All right. So this is what I'll do, because I do understand that there've been reset requests for both sides, back and forth, back and forth. And I understand that the court did say this would be the final restitution setting. But I also understand that there's somebody, a complainant, who has medical bills. And those need to be paid because you're the cause for them having medical bills. You understand? So this.
Judge, and I, yes, and I will, and I want to thank you for giving us the reset because the complainant, and it's the fault of us, because I wasn't here.
How long do you all expect this hearing to last?
It should be brief.
Yeah.
All right, counsel, are you able to be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. and you will be the only case other than the jury trial that's on the docket, or either I can set it in the afternoon at 1:30.
I could be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Judge.
All right, so we're gonna recall this tomorrow at 9 a.m. That will be the last setting for restitution hearing. If the complainant is not here at some point, this must end.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna bring you back on March 19th. And counsel, if you would like, we can have him appear by Zoom or he can appear in person.
In terms of my client? Judge?
Yes.
Whatever's preferable to the courts, I know that felony drug court said that they were gonna meet with him tomorrow, so if by Zoom, I think that might be better, so there's no kind of, please over here, so he's not, felony drug court's not able to see him.
All right, so
it's fine.
we'll have you appear by Zoom. And counsel, if you let felony drug court know he's gonna appear by Zoom,
Yes, ma'am.
because I don't want to interfere with whatever treatment or what they're doing with you, all right? All right, and
Complainant, we have previously agreed that you get it appear via Zoom.
yes.
That's fine. We previously agreed to that, so we'll agree to that.
All right, so witnesses and the defendant by Zoom tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor, that works with us.
All right, thank you. And counsel, if you want to appear by Zoom, if you don't have court downtown, you can appear by Zoom as well.
I have court in another, right here, courtroom down the hallway, Judge, so I'll be close, so I'll be here in person. But I
All right,
appreciate that,
thank
though.
you.
I know.
Get on phone with client. I think.
That guy you wanted is out there. Oh, Miss Martinez? Yes. Yes. And they got. There's a difference.
All right, Richard Martinez. All right, oh, you can just have a seat there. So, Mr. Martinez?
You can't hear.
Richard Martinez.
He couldn't hear Judge.
All right.
And he could barely move.
All right, stay there.
Stay there. I get it. Sit.
interpret?
No, it's, he can't hear, he can't walk.
Okay. Mary J. Blige is playing in my head.
On him up there, he's coming now.
Sure.
In front of the judge.
Hello.
Gotta stop reading.
Yeah, we do have to stop meeting this way.
No.
All right, so let me just tell you something.
Okay.
All right, I give orders. Do you understand?
Yes, I.
And you're supposed to follow those orders. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're either going to drug court or you're going to prison. Do you understand?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you don't want to sign the conditions, you don't have to sign the conditions, but there are consequences. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And those consequences are a motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand? And then I will make a decision on whether or not to send you to prison or continue you. But I ordered you to go to felony drug court. Felony drug court is willing to accept you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Probation.
He stepped out.
But,
All right, just have a seat.
so, what do I do?
Probation is going to talk to you. And if you do not sign the conditions, a motion to revoke will be filed. Do you understand?
And so how much time would you give me in prison?
Here's the thing. I don't know if I will give you time in prison at all, but what I'm telling you is a motion to revoke will be filed. And then I will make a decision on whether or not to continue you or send you to prison. Do you understand?
But I was not drinking or doing that stuff.
All right. I told you what I told you. All right. So you can either sign your conditions or not. If you don't sign your conditions, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. If the state is able to prove up the allegations in the motion, either you're going to prison or you're going to be continued. Thank you.
But does that mean that I broke probation for not taking the?
Probation. Will you please speak to him and see if he's willing to sign the conditions to go to felony drug court? If he is still refusing to sign, file a motion to revoke.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, you too. Who's here on Dakari Jackson?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Well,
Oh, you can. I have to ask y'all, right? Or not? Oh, yeah.
Sorry, any motions for me to hear?
No, Judge, I showed up late. I wanted to let the court know that I'm here.
Okay.
I'm talking to my client. There's a new plea offer, so we're gonna talk and see what he wants to do.
All right, the jury will be in the hallway at 11 a.m.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Judge.
All right, sure. All right, thank you.
Perfect. Hey, good morning. I am, curious if you have a file, a motion that I will talk about elevation, although you said it for hearing on the 20th. Also allow the motion to terminate community supervision. Can those be heard on the same day? Okay. Yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. His name is Paul Bell. And the case number. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yes. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'm ready. Hello. Thanks for being patient. And that's a Rivera.
Oh, they're exactly. Cool. There's like kids playing. Oh, yeah.
Christopher Rivera,
Right here, Judge.
come down, Mr. Rivera.
Come on down.
Hello.
Morning, Gunner.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
The original McCoys.
I was on my way to work.
That's okay. I used to love this television series that would come on called The Real McCoys.
That's my mom used to watch that.
Wasn't that a great
She
series?
was- Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. She loved watching
The
that show.
guy who played the grandfather, I just never saw him as a young person. Every series he was in,
Uh-huh.
he was always the same age, but he was in the Guns of Will Sonnet as well, which was a good program.
Well, there was something like that. There were two families that he did back in.
Well, no, Will Sonnet, you remember in that program, he was constantly trying to find his son, and his younger son was
Yes.
with him. And every time they would get to the town, his son will have just left.
I remember that was the one doing that,
Oh,
you know, but yeah.
All right, so day's plea deadline date.
Judge, we're gonna need a discovery reset.
Mhm.
I am missing a body camera and he makes some statements in that body camera. And so I've talked to Mr. Rick right there and there. He's sneaking up behind me.
Mhm.
And that one, and then I need the criminal history of some of the complainants. And then I think we'll be ready. I have an offer. But I'm lacking those two things.
The last setting, Your Honor, was informed that he had discovered with them today. I was just informed that he's missing those two things.
Yeah.
So I will work on getting to those two things that he's missing.
All right, so when will you have those?
What?
When will you have those?
And have those ASAP.
Yeah, it is, what is it, Hollywood?
What does
Police-
ASAP mean?
As soon as
No, I
possible.
mean, I know what the initials stand for, but what is the time?
Oh,
And you know, why do people say that slow? As soon as possible. It also means always say a prayer, but
I like that version.
thank you.
Wish they would put-
Did you see that, Alfonso? He's just trying to slow it down. It's sort of when somebody says, I don't speak English or I speak a different language, and they just continue to talk to you in English, but just slow it down and yell.
louder, and louder. Yeah, that's how I.
Oh, at the end of it.
So,
I guess I just need time to go upstairs and review or look for that missing body cam and try and get that over to defense.
It is Universal City Police Department.
oh,
That could make.
but
it
it's
slow.
universal. It's like a universal remote, so it should be quick.
Really?
Unfortunately, they're not as good as other ones.
All right, recall this, Norma. recall this for March 25th.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm?
5 days before my birthday.
Oh, well, happy birth month. I
3
believe you
days.
should celebrate the entire month. That's going to be your final plea deadline date.
The 3/25.
Yes.
Celebrated at home.
Oh, okay.
All right, levy excuse
welcome.
then.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. You too. You see what page he is on? Thank you. All right, who is here on? Eric Gonzalez Lopez? How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there, Judge.
How's Italy going? Or no, Spain?
Well, my husband's
Yeah.
doing his thing. So we haven't been yet, but later I will have photos to share with you.
Oh, well, don't show me in a photo. You need to say, hey, Judge, we're here. Come out. Bring everyone you want to bring.
I'll put you on the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on the door. She's gonna say like, Stephanie, why are you here? I'm like, hey.
Oh, no, I'll know.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 10958A, State versus Eric Gonzalez Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Defense?
Kathy Compton for Mr. Gonzalez Lopez.
Excuse me, don't talk behind the court reporter. We're on the record. Just ask the deputy to move you to the other end. All right, sorry about that. And we have and are you Eric Gonzalez Lopez?
Yes.
All right, we have an interpreter here. If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you may lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Your Honor, the interpreter's name is Jorge Valle.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez Lopez, all of the documents I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those explained to you in Spanish?
Yes.
And Attorney Compton, do you speak Spanish?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And do you speak it fluently?
Yes, I do.
And were you able to explain these documents to your client in Spanish?
Yes, I was.
Attorney, did you receive all discovery?
Yes, I did.
And did you review it with your client?
Yes, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications in this case?
No, there are not, Your Honor.
Sir, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, did you review the documents entitled Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
You're charged with aggravated kidnapping. That's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering into this plea, you are giving to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case.
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor, we've discussed all of the aspects of the case.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Sir, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
I'm sorry?
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea bargain agreement you've reached?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a US citizen?
no,
Counsel, were you able to confer with your client concerning the impact this plea will have on his immigration status?
Yes, Your Honor, and I would like to state for the record that I'm board certified in criminal law, but I've also been an immigration practitioner for about 20+ years, and I did explain to him what these certain consequences of a plea in this case would be for him.
All right. Mr. Gonzalez, Lopez, do you understand the consequences of entering into this plea bargain agreement and the impact it will have on your immigration status?
yes,
Do you understand, by entering into this plea, you will be deported and not allowed re-entry into the United States?
I do understand.
And you do understand that you will not be denied naturalization?
Yes,
Knowing this, do you still wish to continue with the plea?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. Did you understand there's a $2,000 fine? If the court finds from the stipulated evidence that a weapon was used, there will be an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There are no applications and there is to be no contact with the complainant. Did you understand that to be your plea?
yes,
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
yes,
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
no contest.
State, any evidence?
You know, states one in attachments.
No objection.
And state, have you spoken to the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are asking to do so, yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I would just request that you follow the plea bargain. It's been a very lengthy negotiation. My client is quite young, and he was, while not trying to deny any of the responsibility, and certainly he understands what he did was definitely not something he should have done. He's extremely young at the time of this offense, and he was one of the lesser actors, I guess you would say, in the incident. So we're just asking that you follow the plea bargain and sentence him to the 5 years that we negotiated.
All right, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's to be no contact with the complainant. There's to be no re-entry into the United States. And there's to be no contact with the following persons. Fräulein Guzman Velasquez, Randy Lopez Benitez, Hector Lopez Nahara, Jose Julian Casas Lopez. All right, is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider allowing him contact with, I believe, Fräulein, who is his stepfather, and his mother and Fräulein are married.
All
So
right.
just,
But these are United States orders. You're not allowed re-entry into the United States. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right.
thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're young, but that is no excuse to try to build your happiness off somebody else's misery. The people that you did this to were trying to come here, and you, your family, treated them badly. That's not allowed. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start at 11:30, but let me finish this real quick.
Okay, can you call us? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, and let me give you this file back. I think there was an agreement. And also this one. Which one? Yeah, no, fine.
Of, Gabriel Martinez.
I'll need to finish the party up in just 2 minutes.
Okay, ready.
Gabriel Martinez. Gabriel Martinez.
I think Mr. Flannery just walked out.
He like literally just walked out. And he's back.
And what page is he on?
He's on page 3.
Oh, thank you.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
How are you?
Gabriel, all right. Gabriel Martinez. And you're on this side. All right, so where are we on this case with
The-
discovery?
Sorry, Judge, Discovery, I believe is all there, we, have agreed to, pre-trial diversion.
Okay. All right, I need a PTD setting.
I can do April 15th.
All right, April 15th is tax day. Is that fine?
It's, what day is that? Oh, tax day.
Yeah.
I think I'll be in trial across the hallway, so that's perfect.
All right, April 15th.
Great. I'll see you then.
All right, make sure the contract and everything is signed.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately to
course.
court. Thank you.
And don't leave without your recess. Have a seat and I'll have your attorney take it to you.
All right, so where are we on Dakari?
I am getting the paperwork together, Your Honor.
All right.
Doing.
No, he has not. And I was waiting.
I looked in the hallway.
Gabriel Martinez? Let me see if I can get a hold of him.
That's paperwork out on the DWI.
All right, who is ready? Because jurors are in the hallway. They're coming in at 11:30. So everyone, move with the purpose.
I'm just waiting for my client to see, this looks good, I'm ready to
Okay.
face the trial.
Okay.
You got a sleep coming, Jim.
All right, thank you. All right, could I see Robert Maurer and Jason, please?
It should be on the.
Kristen Espinoza. Hello.
Hello, sorry.
All right, so here's the thing, and I'm just telling you this, and it's coming, trust me, what I'm about to tell you is coming from a good place. I don't know why people wear sagging pants. That needs to stop, all right? So when you are with your friends, there's a certain way you may dress. But when you're in court, wear the right size pants or either get a belt. You understand? It's not good. Nobody wants to see people's underwear. They only do that for Calvin Klein where people have their underwear and they show that it's Calvin Klein. But you don't have to tell everybody what kind of underwear write it in a letter or something. This is the underwear I'm wearing, okay? All right. But other than that, I'm fine with the way you're dressed. Okay.
I'll just better next time.
Okay, I appreciate that. All right, let me see what page he is on. All right. So on this case, where are we on discovery, counsel?
Your Honor, we do have discovery. I believe this is our first sitting on the felony case. I've conferred with the state and we have a global offer that's gonna take care of, this case is gonna be dismissed and we're gonna plea on a couple of misdemeanor cases.
All right,
Okay.
so what date, when is that going to be happening?
I don't have the county court 9 case off the top of my head.
I think it was the 20th or the 31st.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me look it up on Odyssey.
I can see if I can find it also, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let me see.
You'll find it. It's the 31st. Your Honor, it's set March 31st.
March 31st?
Yes.
All right, so this is what I'll do. On this case, I'm going to set it for April 1st.
Okay.
And then if that's completed on the 31st, we won't need to be here.
Sounds good.
But if on the 31st, for some reason, something goes wrong and it's not completed, just walk up here so I can give you a different date.
Okay, we'll do, yeah.
All right, so we'll have you back here on April 1st. Do you understand? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too. Just have him remain until the reset form is signed.
Brandon, who's your client?
Yeah, Espinosa.
And it's for PCD?
No, it's gonna be a plea in misdemeanor court.
Yes.
He says he'll participate in the program now, but we have to do the referral all over again.
All right, thank you.
He has to order, Judge. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to do this.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, can I see the file back on Ricardo Martinez, I think it is? Ricardo Martinez.
This is for PCD, but these are copies that was right now. Thank you. We can try the client there, Brandon? We can try the client there.
Thank you. All right, that one's done. Thank you. All right, thank you. Paul Diaz. All right, let me find you on the docket. All right, so what is happening with Discovery?
Your Honor, discovery is complete. I've spoken with the state and I'm in the process of providing some mitigation and witness statement that's going to, I believe, affect what the offer will be. And so we're asking for time to let that happen.
All right, how much time are you requesting?
Your Honor, I'm requesting 30 days.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Diaz? All right, it's gonna be April 14th, and that will be your plea deadline date as well.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. What page is he on? Mr. Diaz, you need to make sure you're on time next time, you understand? Do not be late again. All right, thank you. All right, who's here on David Vargas? I don't know what's happening with this one.
I don't know what this lower is about.
Oh, hold on. All right, thank you. Let me see. All right, just one moment. Let me read the this letter very quickly. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2068 State versus David Coyote Vargas. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Opinion for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Monica Guerrero for Mr. Vargas, Your Honor.
And Hector Gonzalez for Mr. Cook.
Right, and are you Mr. Vargas?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea to the lesser included. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at $1,500. The state is recommending deferred adjudication. And You're to comply with chapter 62 registration. Outside the plea bargain agreement, there's a no contact. What I can tell all parties, the court is going to order no contact.
That's good.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
We have, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, first.
Any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor. Well, I guess when you won, there was a mention of restitution in there.
Yes.
However, I reviewed that with the state of Texas and we do not believe that there is any restitution that's actually owed.
Your Honor, the state's aware of what restitution is involved and what the usual parameters are for restitution. So the state will defer to the court as far as an amount that the court, if it deems award to the victim on this case.
All right, so any objections to the court reviewing what's listed as restitution?
I have zero objection, Your Honor.
All right, so what I can tell parties is legally, there's only certain things that I can give restitution for.
I understand.
The divorce and things of that nature, you're not allowed to receive restitution for that. If I could give restitution for that, I would. The other items that are being requested for restitution, if I could give restitution for that, I would. But legally, I'm not allowed to give restitution for the items that are listed that total $15,000, approximately $15,000. So if there's any type of case law that you would have that says that I'm incorrect in my evaluation, I'm more than willing to hear that and more than willing to give you a time to address those. But based upon my knowledge of the law, I'm legally not allowed to give restitution for the items that are listed.
I understand, Your Honor. We've made the victim aware of that.
All right, so then is this the only restitution that's listed from page 8? It's entitled Some Financial Damages. And then it has approximately $15,000 as the total. Is there any other restitution other than those items?
That is all that was originally submitted by the victim and was requested by the victim.
All right. So then next we'll move on to sentencing. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, only that been cooperative with everything, and we would ask that you follow along with the agreement we made with the state.
Okay.
Judge, he has been gainfully employed. He has not just been sitting around doing nothing. He's helping his family who has been supportive of him. His parents are both in the courtroom and they very much want him to get this plea agreement that we entered into with the state.
And on that note, Your Honor, the victim is present as well. Should I think the victim in Bexar?
All right. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court will follow the agreement that you've reached. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. Chapter 62 compliance, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no contact with minors. You'll be on the special unit with probation for this offense. There's to be no contact with the complainant. With regards to the community service hours, there is no place that will allow you to do community service hours. So I am gonna do 80 hours of community service restitution, but you're gonna have to pay that off at $7.25 per hour. I always recommend people to the food bank because the food bank always needs food. However, that's not an order from the court. That's something to consider. If you have another charity that you would like to donate to, if it's on the approved list for probation, that's fine. If it's not on the approved list, your attorney can come back to the court and I'll make a determination of whether or not it's a true charity and not the human fund, okay? Probation, is there anything else? All right, and I'm also gonna sentence you to, 30 days in the Bear County Jail as a condition of probation. And that's to start today. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Excuse me, did you review the trial court certification with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed the plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, my understanding is, and thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court. My understanding is that there is victim impact, so what's gonna end up happening is the complainant is gonna wanna speak to you. I just require that everyone treats everyone with respect, okay? All right. All right, so. All right, Fernando Placencia. All right. And is there an application in this case? No. Is there?
Oh. My apologies.
All right, it's right over there. Oh, I don't think I have your cell number. Okay. Okay, thank you. Hello, how's it going?
I'm good, and you, Judge?
All right, I cannot complain. It's a beautiful day outside.
There you go, yes.
What page is Placencia on?
It's on page.
Oh, found it.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 011893 State versus Fernando Placencia. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Megan Galloway for the state.
David Dilly for Mr. Leon Placencia, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Placencia?
Yes.
All right, we have an attorney here. I'm sorry, an interpreter here. Could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Cesar Chavez, license number 2203.
All right, Mr. Placencia, all of the documents I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those documents explained to you in Spanish?
Yes.
And counsel, do you speak Spanish?
I am very fluent, Your Honor.
All right, and were you able to explain the documents to him in Spanish?
I did, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Placencia, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right. Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we are reading the child passenger enhancement and proceeding on the class B misdemeanor offense of DWI first.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor? The range of punishment is up to $2,000 fine and up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, and he was.
Sir, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No. No.
Counsel, did you explain to your client the legal consequences for entering a plea and the impact it will have on his immigration status?
Yes, Your Honor. If I just may briefly state something for the record. My client has been a legal permanent resident since 2001. He understands that a plea of guilt or no contest to this misdemeanor offense can probably result in deportation, removal, or denying citizenship in the future. And he's understanding that risk and he intends to move forward.
All right. Sir, do you understand the consequences of entering a plea in this case? As it relates to your immigration consequences?
Yes,
Do you understand that you can be deported and not allowed re-entry into the United States?
yes,
Do you understand that you could be denied naturalization?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of DWI first. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision, ignition interlock for 1 year, and 1 year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes,
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
yes,
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, and parenting classes. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
yes,
Then to the offense, the lesser included offense of DWI first, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
guilty,
State, any evidence?
State offers states exhibit number 1 attachment.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
yes,
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. So my client did take the initiative, even though I don't believe it's part of the plea bargain agreement, but I did show it to the state. If I may present this to the court. My client already took the DWI education course in the victim impact panel live.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Other than that, we respectfully request, Your Honor, if you should follow the plea agreement. My client has no prior record.
All right, the court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated. Ignition interlock for 1 year. There's to be a 1 year license suspension. There should be 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once he completes that, the community service restitution will be deemed satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And there is going to be a TAP evaluation in custody and follow TAP recommendations.
In custody, Judge?
Yes.
Yeah. No, Laura was asking. Yeah.
All right. All right. And then since you've already completed, I'm going to order the DWI education course.
Yes, Your Honor.
and Victim Impact Panel live. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, is there anything else that you need from the court that would help you be successful on this probation?
No.
And probation, is there anything else? Oh, thank you so much. And there'll be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. All right, good luck to you. And thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. And they may need you to,
Oh, another one?
well, to go over conditions with him. I'm not sure.
No worries.
I can translate if.
Oh, I think it has to be an official translation. Although I do trust your translation skills.
Your Honor, and I apologize, I didn't catch this, in custody
For the TAP evaluation. They should be finished with it this week.
within this week.
But and counsel, the reason why I'm doing that is based upon what I've read in the report.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yes. We'll have to take them up. We gotta count. Yeah. The attorney wants to take all of these.
Can you go over there? We're bringing that.
All right, Sydney Peterson.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, come down.
How are you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Oh, good.
Open, yeah.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 1041, State versus Sydney Lee Peterson. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Gary Chirek for the defendant.
And are you Sydney Peterson?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Sydney Lee Peterson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 1041 for the offense of assault of a peace officer judge on April 11, 2023 for a term of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 2, on or about the 9th day of December 2024 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant, Cindy Lee Peterson, the then and there failed to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objections?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 20 years in prison
Yes, ma'am.
and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, there is not, Your Honor.
And state, what are you requesting?
We haven't really discussed it, Your Honor, but the recommendation by probation was amend for state cognitive based track followed by ISP. There is another case pending that we waived. It is a family violence burglary we have. We don't know what's gonna happen with that. But at this point, the state's position is to go with recommendation of probation.
All right, so with regards to that recommendation, you will be in limbo because they're not going to transfer you as long as you have an open case pending. Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, that
depending on what happens to the open case, I think it's just, if the open case goes away, then he missed one drug test. So I think that's a slap on the hand violation. But we don't know what's gonna happen with the burglary deal. I think it's, what I know about it, it's a conflict between exes. So we'll just have to go from there.
State, have you turned over a discovery for the new number one that's in the allegation? I mean, in the motion?
Have you received it?
I couldn't tell you that. I have so much discovery on the computers that
Judge, I'm unaware, but this morning we have reached out to the intake attorney in family violence. I talked to family violence about the case. It seems that they're in process of working up that case. As far as like, as in the precursory view of it, it seems like a decent case. It doesn't seem like it would go away unless the victim is somehow unsustainable.
All right, this is what the court is gonna do. The court is gonna find violation of condition number 2 true, and the court is gonna make a ruling on this case on April 3rd. So you're gonna come back on April 3rd and I'll make a decision on whether to continue you or not continue you. And if I decide to continue you, there'll be certain conditions associated with that. You understand?
It's got it? All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Peterson, he's coming back April 3rd. 1:30? No, April 3rd. So what is your, this is.
David Mendoza,
Present, ready, Judge.
court is calling 2024 CR 5863, State versus David Mendoza. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Fair settlement for the state.
Robert Geary, Your Honor, for defendant David Mendoza, and we're ready.
Are you Mr. Mendoza? Counsel, have you received all discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, we have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Mendoza, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, waiving the habitual offender enhancement allegation.
Any objection?
No objection from defense, Judge.
Did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your charge of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 to 4 grams? That is a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe that he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe that he is and was.
Mr. Mendoza, has anyone threatened you,
No.
coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in prison. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, it is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Same in exhibit one and attachments, Judge.
Defense is reviewed, Judge. We have no objections.
All right, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? State you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I'm going to request the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you're in prison, but it's to help you maintain your sobriety when you're released. Do you understand? Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Do better. When you're released, if you can't find a place to help you get treatment, you can always come back to this court, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Court is calling 2024 CR 007602, State versus Juan Miranda.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Meredith Chacon for Mr. Miranda, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Miranda? Counsel, have you received all discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there any applications?
No, Your Honor.
Right. Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, sir.
Did you review court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
And to the court reporter, I know I'm going extra fast, but it's at the request of defense counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, did you understand you're charged with tampering with physical evidence with intent to impair? That's a 3rd-degree felony. It's 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you were giving up those rights. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Miranda, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. The state is taking in consideration 2025 PF 04695, 2024 AL 006340. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor, not in this.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
And in exhibit 1 and attachments.
No objection, Judge.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports. Did you understand?
No.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration 2025 PF 04695, 2024 AL 006340, and I'll request the therapeutic community. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much for that.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
No.
All right, because this plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can drop the record. The therapeutic community is designed to help you maintain your sobriety. When you're released from prison, if for any reason you can't find a place to help you with that, if I'm still here, you can come back here. All right? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Sydney, I'm sorry. I had to go very quickly. There were medical issues.
You didn't see it, Judge.
Okay.
It was.
I understand.
I'm-
Maria Herrera. Who's the attorney for Maria Herrera? All right, court is calling 2025 CR 000146, State versus Maria Herrera. Can I have parties announced for the record? State,
Andrew Harris, Edelman.
defense,
Howdy, Joe Stenberg, representing Maria Herrera.
and are you Maria Herrera?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have reviewed it.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Herrera, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waived the reading.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
All right, did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with burglary of a habitation? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
You have.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Ms. Herrera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state recommends deferred adjudication. There's a $1,000 fine that's to be probated. Did you understand that to be the
Yes,
plea?
Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community service be for a term of 5 years. There be no contact with the complainant, and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
No content.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Contained in exhibit one of the attachments, Judge.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the waiver? State, you may be excused. Did
Thank
you
you.
review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing? Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We have no objection to that.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, ma'am. She understands what she did was absolutely wrong. She just thinks she's not going to do it again.
All right. Why did you go into a place that was not yours? A residence that's not your residence?
Honestly, I used to live there and I thought the same people lived there and I still had the key, but I guess the people moved out of the second apartment and the key still worked and that's how I entered that place.
Did you have permission to be there?
No, ma'am.
Do you have employment?
I did it one time.
Did you have employment before you were arrested?
Yes, I work at my uncle's boot shop and I work for my cousin. I'm just answering phone and checking in the shoes and checking them out.
All right. Do you have any children?
I do. I have 2 children.
What are their ages?
I have a 7-year-old and a soon to be 13-year-old.
And who do they live with?
With the grandparents right now since I'm incarcerated.
Is Child Protective Services in your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's your CPS attorney?
That I don't know right now. I was looking for one to hire on my own.
Okay. So are your children with your grandparents because of this case?
No, they've been for a prior case that I had already been to prison for.
And are there any drugs issues with you?
There was, but I've been rehabilitated.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. 5 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine probated. There's to be no contact with Eduardo Giovanni. And Gonzalo Morales. Or Chalmers Street. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. No unsupervised I'm sorry, no contact with minors. You're not allowed to reside in any home with minors. TAP evaluation in custody. Follow all TAP recommendations. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice.
What was that last part?
Field visits
Okay.
1 time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else? Regular random UAs. You're welcome. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal.
I would like a clarification. You said no contact with minors.
Yes.
That include her children?
Yes.
So then I can't see my kids today?
No.
No,
For 5 years.
for 5 years?
No, it's not. Here's the thing, it's not necessarily for 5 years. You have an open CPS case. I'm sure that Child Protective Services has a no contact order for you. I'm
No,
sure that,
They have I could visit my kids 2 times a week.
well, I need to see an order stating that.
With their grandparents' supervision.
Well, your attorney will need to bring to the court an order that says that you can do that. But normally, if there are drug issues and other things that are going on, then CPS does not allow you contact with the children unless it's supervised by CPS. So I'll need an order stating that, and the CPS worker, they can zoom in. Your attorney for CPS can zoom in. The child's ad litem can zoom in and speak to me about that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because in reading the police reports, there's something else going on than just that you went into a house because you used to live there and you always thought that you could come there at any time to live there. There's something else going on. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on in regards to that. And part of my job as a judge is to make sure that the community is protected.
Yes.
And a
ma'am.
part of that community, sometimes people don't believe it, but part of that community is children. And sometimes it's your own biological children. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too.
Adios.
Well, adios. Everyone, we're gonna take our, do you have something?
Well, Judge, I wanted to approach about Mr. McKinney,
Yes.
just on motions for severance that I filed, so I'll know which case I'm going on and what to put on the election.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
I just, they're aware.
Okay. All right. Yes, I do, but everybody needs a lunch break.
We can do it. Do you want me to come back?
Yes.
What about 1:15?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge, just an announcement also. I talked to the state. We had a plea worked out. I talked to my client. He's talking to his dad. His dad wants to talk to me about the agreement. I let the state know about it. And so, I don't know if I can come back in the afternoon, Judge,
Yes,
or,
you can
okay,
come back in the afternoon.
okay.
1:15. All right, thank
All right,
you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, everyone, we're taking our recess.